So, did we all have the same childhood? No original memory? Because it sure seems that way when I did my research for this video. Like, did you or did you not try to balance a light switch, hit every button on the remote, freaking burn yourself on that exact slide? After a fight with your parent, you would like stand in your room crying and plan to run away, hit your ankle with a scooter, and learn the hard way why this and this are not meant to be. Asking yourself where you could get this from Art Attack, which apparently was very important considering half the projects required that stuff. Drinking out of a bottle cap like it's shots and pretend to be drunk. Man, the nostalgia. Thinking about all that makes me happier than any memory of the past. Like, back then actually. Moving on! When I got my first Game Boy, we had a good run playing numerous hours of Pokemon, Kirby, Tetris and whatnot, until death did us part. Because my boy was falling out of my backpack and my dumbass stepped and eventually slipped on it, so yeah. And after an appropriate amount of time grieving, I managed to finally move on like he would have wanted me to. The Nintendo DS Lite! First off, I thought it was so freaking cool that you had this chat room-like thing where you could draw stuff and text and the satisfaction when you filled all the pixels and the whole screen was black. Then when Animal Crossing first came out, every kid in my area played it. I still remember on school bus, the ones who actually played it know that you could visit other worlds. I would snatch all their stuff. I was stuffing my bags, bro. And they would send text, I should stop robbing them, and I thought I was such a savage. No mercy at all when they looked around super mad. Which greedy bastard it was. Like I said, every other kid on that bus played, so if you see this, I'm sorry. Coral. Back then, no smartphones. The world was a better place. My first phone was... Shocker, I know. My mom only gave it to me in case of emergencies, to call her, but I ended up using it most for playing Snake, so yeah, emergency indeed. And texting hit so different back then, pressing all the buttons so often till you get the right letter. And now that I mentioned that, can you believe you had to delete messages at a certain point to receive more? You would get this notification, you have to, or you simply can't receive any new ones. You had to choose. Yeah, that was kind of sad. And I don't know if that was a thing for you too, but having actual songs on your phone was not that common. There wasn't really an option, you know the drill, I guess. So what we would do is record the song when we had the chance and trade it for stuff they got and send it mostly with Bluetooth or infrared. Earlier phones had like this spot and you would hold it against one another and the data gets sent. Man, that was a time to be alive when we finally discovered LimeWire. With the slight panic to get caught, but willing to risk it all for... And guys, the panic when you hit the infamous internet button and now you bankrupted your parents, at least that's what we all thought. And can anyone remember these little charms for your phone? Funny when I think about how cool it was back then when you got to choose a specific ringtone. That shit was important. And today I rarely have it not silenced anyway, so I couldn't care less about the sound it makes when I get a phone call I didn't want to get in the first place. I also feel like kids' shows and movies hit so different then. I don't want to give the granny speech, well, back then in my time. But back then we had one of these box TVs. I hope you can relate. And of course, this just came to my mind. You actually had to rewind the tape before you could watch it again. Damn, that was so annoying when you didn't do it right away, and the next time you wanted to watch the tape, it felt like ages until it was done. And you could time it to record stuff, and it would sometimes record stuff after the movie or whatever. And I remember seeing parts of a South Park episode, ended up getting traumatized seeing Kenny getting eaten by rats, even having trouble to fall asleep after that. I feel like as a kid you have the weirdest fears. Running up the stairs like crazy out of fear the monster catches you, but thinking you'd be 100% safe under your blanket. God forbid you stick your leg out. Because that heat is building up under there. You know, you rather have the lack of oxygen and sweating like crazy. That logic unmatched. But the thing that gave me a literal heart attack, like near death experience, was when your favorite poster loosened from the wall and freaking smashed down in the middle of the night. I really wouldn't want to miss a single thing from those core memories. And I'm sure every generation thinks that about its very own. Growing up in the 2000s was elite. Okay, bye!